And hopefully we're rolling. Happy New Year, Brandon.
Same to you, sir.
I cannot believe it's 2021.
Good to see 2020 in the rear view.
I got to tell you, you're looking great.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're rolling. I'd like to welcome our guests. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started about the topic today, I'd like to encourage you to hit the subscribe button on your page there. That way you can stay attuned to any latest feeds that we offer. And we're glad that you've checked us out. This is new for us here at Ridgeview, and we hope this is helpful. So, Brandon, it's a new year. I know there's a lot of talk about hope. Hope springs eternal, though we are in winter. I thought it'd be neat to rewind the clock, and let me share a quote with you that I came across pertaining to hope, and let's just unpack it a little bit because I found it very intriguing.
Okay.
And I'd like your opinion on it. So back in the fall, the Volunteer Ministry Center in Knoxville hosts a conference, and their guest was Krista Tippett, who is the host of a podcast called On Being.
Mm-hmm.
And she's written several other books. Now, this, like everything in 2020, it was a virtual conference, so I was tuned in virtually.
Right.
So the host was speaking with her, and I don't remember the context in which it came up, but she said, well, I kind of view hope as a muscle. And I thought, now that's interesting. I've never heard that before, but there's something about that I liked, because to me, it was saying hope is something that you can strengthen or that may lose its strength, that it kind of can come and go, and that maybe you can train it, you can practice it. So let's just talk about that for a little bit, especially moving into a new year full of hope. We know one of Ridgeview's mottos is hope, healing, and recovery. So what do you think about that? Hope is a muscle.
I like that. I like the context you put of training it, some sense of plasticity, the old use it or lose it motto. So I like that a lot. I think it is something you could practice and you could build up in a positive way.
Use it or lose it. I like that. It makes me think, what are ways in which, so many people are feeling hopeless, or maybe they've not felt very hopeful in a long, long time. What would be a way, what do you think are ways in which people could, use that muscle, even just a little bit?
I think just finding something every day that you enjoy would be something important to focus on. If it's taking the dog for a walk or listening to your favorite album, whatever it may be, take 5, 10, 15 minutes and do something that is decompressing, something that's relaxing for you.
Yeah. No, I like that. When you think of people exercising muscles, oftentimes you immediately think of a gym, a fitness center. So I think, well, what would be a gym for hope or a fitness center for hope? Where would people go to strengthen their hope muscle?
You could have a lot of different settings. I mean, you could have something that's really person-specific. Again, going back to something you enjoy. If you like walking and you like being down by the lake, maybe going down to the lake to walk is your gym. Or having a support system, friends, family, an agency such as Ridgeview. That's a good gym. So
Yeah.
I think that would be helpful.
I saw recently a notice that came across through one of the email blasts. I believe it was from NAMI and the NAMI support group. And part of what they were talking about here, the local Oak Ridge affiliate, was, part of their support group is that convening together to help each other out and be more hopeful. And I thought, well, Okay, that's a gym. Maybe the
Sure.
gym is a NAMI support group. I like what you said about Ridgeview being a gym as well. People can come here, whether it is for care management, uh, outpatient therapy, uh, maybe supportive employment services, whatever the service is. It's a place where hopefully, no pun intended, they're exercising that muscle of hope and maybe getting to know some trainers,
Right.
some coaches that can help them further that hope muscle. So there's always, I wrestle with. There's always a con. I try to always think, what's the other side of the coin of this? Because I do love hope as a muscle,
Mm-hmm.
um, but what do you think the con is to that, or the other side of the coin in viewing hope as a muscle?
I think maybe perception would play a part in that. Of in pop culture, we think of muscle and we think of guys like The Rock, right? Big, big muscles. Um,
You,
no, no, no. We'll steer away from that. But I think that there are different levels of strength, and muscle mass is not necessarily indicative of your strength, right? So, finding a person-specific way to condition, to train and practice your own hope would be important. Otherwise, I think it would be easy to fall into thinking of, I don't have that mass. I don't have that natural, hopeful outlook when I wake up in the morning, and therefore I'm not meeting some preset definition of what I'm supposed to. And that could quickly lead to fatigue or burnout. So I think those are things you'd want to avoid.
yeah. No, I think that is. I think you said it beautifully. There's always a danger, and I don't like this word, but I'm going to say it, especially because the correlation, if muscles, certainly The Rock is a strong fella,
Mm-hmm.
muscular fella. Compared to me, I'm weak in comparison to The
Uh,
Rock. So, I don't know that we necessarily would want to ever view hope as you have strength in hope or you have weakness in hope.
Agreed.
So it does seem to me that would be, I think here at Ridgeview, as coaches for people trying to exercise hope, I think one of the great things that our coaches offer is helping meet people where they are
Mm-hmm.
and taking steps with them to strengthen that muscle of hope, uh, which I think is good news.
Absolutely.
So, part of this whole thing that we're doing is trying to help get some information out there for people regarding how to cope with COVID 19. And we have a helpline that's there for folks that is always up there. Man, this is we've been through so much, and so many people are struggling. COVID 19, the good news vaccine is rolling out,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, people may not feel very hopeful going into this year. So the helpline is there for people who
Absolutely.
may be looking for a little help or a little coaching.
Part of that gym concept.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Now, you are one of the counselors that is available, takes shifts
Yes,
to
sir.
respond to that. How have you, uh, tell me what that's like?
It's from our perspective, I think it's very optimistic to know that during what we would consider not normal business hours, that we're still available to help people, that we're there to guide and give some information, to be encouraging and help with that training for concept of hope. Um, it's also puts you on a very personal level with people that I think we don't necessarily see when we're talking about COVID-19 by watching the news. We hear all these stories, but when you're actually connecting with an individual one on one and you're hearing their story and how these things are impacting their daily life, it really puts you on a different level with that person. And I hope that What we're offering them in return is putting them back on that level with themselves to focus on what they need to do. I think it's really optimistic for both parties, honestly.
Yeah. One of the things that I have, that I think someone may be watching this or listening to this and thinking, should I call? What will happen if I call? What information are they going to want of me if I call? And there's anonymity to this. You don't have to provide phone
Right.
numbers, email addresses, social security numbers. It's a free service. And to the extent that someone is comfortable sharing identifying
Mhm.
information. So I think that's important for people to know that you can call this and not worry about having to disclose anything about who you are.
Absolutely. If you were to call the hotline, one of our counselors is going to answer the phone. We're going to identify ourselves. But from that point forward, whatever you're comfortable saying is really all that we're here to listen to. So if you are looking for resources or you're looking to find out about services that we may specifically offer, or if you just want to vent, we're there to take those calls and allow that content to process however you're comfortable with it. So it's your show.
And what counties specifically is this for?
Well, I don't know that we're actually specifying counties. We focus here at Ridgeview on Anderson, Scott, Campbell, Morgan, and Roane counties. But we have had callers from other counties that heard about this through Facebook or through a family friend or something of that nature, and we certainly take those calls too.
Great. So people in other outlying areas, if they need resources to those areas, there's a way to help guide them to.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a very hopeful conversation. I need it going into 2021.
Same.
I thought it was a neat way to kind of begin this whole journey with Ridgeview's podcast is to talk about hope. And we're all in need of it, and we all need one another to practice it and find gyms where we can do it.
Absolutely.
So uh, I hope you'll come back. We'll do this again, maybe talk about structure and routine and
That would be
things of
great.
that sort. We hope you will tune in, and thank you for checking this out. It's been a joy to bring this to you, and please hit that subscribe button and also go to our website where you can learn about other resources that we offer to the community. Thanks so much.